My name is Dorothy Straughter. I'm an occupational therapist, and I'm a mom and a friend and a cousin and a quilter.
In February 2020, the Adler partnered with renowned quilter Dorothy Straughter for a community-based art project. It was hosted in our very own design lab, the Star Studio, a place where guests can explore their creativity through making art. The activity was inspired by the work of Harriet Powers, a formerly enslaved quilter born in 1837. Traditional African-American quilting as a form of storytelling was born from slavery and remains an important teaching tool for Black history. To celebrate Harriet and this art form, visitors of the Adler were asked to create their own night sky stories using donated scraps of fabric. If they were willing to part with their creations, our staff carefully placed them in a folder to be delivered to Dorothy, who would then use them to design and create a double-sided quilt. By the time the pandemic caused the Adler to shut down in March, Dorothy had already collected over 300 original pieces made by guests at the Adler. We kept up with her progress through Zoom meetings and, when the quilt was ready, arranged a COVID-safe pickup at her house. In August of 2022, Dorothy finally got to see the quilt on display for the first time.
Wow. So my neighbor across the street, she gave me a book on the Underground Railroad and then gave me some fabric and said, here, take this and make one of these. And she had her own Underground Railroad quilt, and I didn't know what it was because I had never seen one. Because our history wasn't really taught to us, it was basically pushed under the rug. Well, I find out there are people who know it more than I do. And I said something was wrong with that, so I need to go and do some research, and then I was hooked. So first of all, every quilt I've made has been different from the other quilts. And by the time you called me, I had done over 30 or 40 quilts. This was totally out of my realm. I got like 300 or so folders of stuff like this that I had to then put together. I actually named it. So this little piece here, to me it looked like an angel, so I named it Angel. So this is actually a finished piece that didn't go on the quilt, and we're getting down to less finished pieces. But when you all allowed me to come here and bring my sewing machine, I got a feel for the room and the people. I think when you do the research and you really get into the nature of the people that you're covering, you really bring forth a work that's more expansive in thinking and processing and talking to people of different cultures. Because in this quilt, you'll also find symbols from all over the world. And here's another symbol.
The Ankh.
The Ankh, Egypt. Yep, an homage to Egypt. So they're all the way around. Here's Pi, infinity, yep. And this is African fabric, because Africa is the motherland. This represents the sun, this represents all the blood of the people. So I have different, fabric represents different things. Different
Right, and colors do too.
Right. I got the periodic table in there, we got different planets in there. The astronaut, you see the astronaut?
Yes.
That's my son's astronaut, so it ended up on the quilt. So every time you have a quilt, you're supposed to be able to see different things as you continue to look. Okay, so this right here was an homage, or is an homage to the planetarium.
Okay.
And it's an homage to people all around the world. So I have different nationalities on here and different symbols.
Okay.
On the other side
Okay.
is all the things that people gave me that look more like this.
Oh,
A compilation of these from the community.
We can't wait to see you in the Star Studio. Check for the open sign on your next visit and stop by to gaze at this collaborative art piece. Admire community-made art, hunt for symbols among the squares, and see the night sky from a new angle. We flip the quilt about twice a year, so be sure to come back again and see the other side.